All right.
Hello, everyone. This is Realtor Linda Peltz. Today, I'm here with Adrian Rodriguez, and he's going to tell us all about his business, and maybe it's something that would work with you. Take it away, Adrian.
Hi, and thanks, Linda, for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's always good to talk to somebody who's in business as well and understands the ups and downs of that whole lifestyle. So I am my company is called Anchored Web Solutions. And I'm kind of well, it's hard to describe what I do because I do so many things, but a lot of times I tell people I'm the Swiss Army knife of web developers, or maybe I could say I'm the honest mechanic of web developers, because what I do is I really work hard to try to find solutions that really help the businesses that I work with. Usually that's a website. I mean, that's what I do. That's the bread and butter of my company. But there are so many different things that I have to bring to the table.
In
And so
your
that
toolbox to help us all out.
Yep, I have a whole repertoire in my yeah, in my quiver. So I help people with their web presence, and so I guess if you had to call me something, it would be a digital solutions agency,
Sure.
one person agency. But I've worked with every sector of the industries, for profits as well as nonprofits, government agencies, law enforcement, churches, politicians,
Anybody
foundations,
that owns a business or is in that sector, and of course, realtors, they fall within that sector.
realtors.
We all
Yes,
own our, and I don't think people really realize that as far as realtors, they think, oh, you work for a brokerage. Yeah, but it's our own company. It's just we get governed by a brokerage and has these laws and rules we have to follow within our own company. But we make, and we have to get our name out there. We have to pull in our own leads. We don't
yeah,
get necessarily paychecks every week.
yeah.
It's
That
just,
that
it's
whole
how do
grind.
we set up our business? And that's where you come in. So, all
Yeah,
kinds of businesses out there, and you work for all of them. And
yeah, and including brokerages. I've worked with a few real estate realtors, and yeah, it's every client has a different set of needs or different things that are going on
definitely.
with their industry. So I try my best to work with them where they're at, and yeah.
So how do you kind of start? Do you kind of, number one, you probably have to find out what industry they're in, and
Mhm.
then kind of how do you kind of set them up for success on your side? Do you go through
Yeah,
a series of questions, or
yeah,
you
it
tell
usually
me?
starts. Yeah, it starts with my business is based on relationships, and so it's all about having that initial conversation or consultation to go over their company. And you interviewed Dr. Robert Watts a little bit ago. He's somebody that is really near and dear to me in my past. So when I was younger, he was actually a bit of a mentor to me, and so I take a lot of that, a lot of what he taught me about management consultation and organizational development with me into my business today. And
Definitely.
so the conversations I have with businesses are always centered on that business and what your values are, what your needs are, things like that. And then from that, it's usually pretty obvious. A website is usually a really great tool to have as for any business or organization. And
Well,
so,
I
but
think
what?
it kind of legitimizes a business. I mean, we're not just some Joe Blow that lives up the street, and we might be able to do the job, we might not be able to,
Yeah,
but hey, give us a shot. Whereas I think,
yeah,
website and having your actual business set up to where you have a system, which
hmm,
is where you kind of come into play, definitely builds the confidence in our clients that we can
yeah,
handle the job, and we're going to do the best we can for them with their systems in place, and there's websites, and it's an actual business. It's not just, oh, I dabble in it, let me kind of help you out, if I can. And
yeah.
it's
There.
kind of like, in the construction industry, and I lived in Kansas for a while, which was
Hmm,
a little different than living in the cities and different things, and they didn't really have permit departments, and you didn't have to necessarily be licensed or anything. And I owned an electrical company, which we were licensed,
uh-huh.
but it was
Yeah, yeah,
interesting, the underbidding and the the old, oh, hey, I could run a wire from there to there,
Right.
and right, and it was half the price, right? And yet we did it all to code, and it took a little extra to, and we didn't necessarily have to pull permits, but
Hmm.
and then you'd hear, I don't know, 6 months down the road or a year down the road, that building burnt down, and it's like there's nothing you can do. So I always
Totally.
thought that was a pretty good comparison.
Yeah, it's very apt because, web development doesn't have any certifications or licenses to do, but it really is similar to having a brick and mortar store in the sense that what you build online, your website from the foundation up, makes all the difference as to whether your web presence is going to thrive or if it's going to struggle. And I just, that's why the conversation starts with their company, their organization, and what's important to them. And the other thing is that, for me at least, it's important that the owner of the company or the key decision makers are, bought in. That was another thing Dr. Watts taught a lot about, was having that institutional or ground level or full buy-in. And
Well, and
that's
they know where to find you if something goes wrong, right? You're not just a fly by night, right? You're so
yeah,
it definitely, I think, the only word I can kind of come up with is legitimizes businesses to where people know they're going to be able to find you if there's a crisis, and you're going to be
yeah,
able to help them out. And
yeah. Oh yeah, and being a legit business, or legitimizing people through business, is kind of mostly what I feel like I differentiate myself in, because as a former journalist and a media savvy person, I know it's all about how you present yourself and putting your best foot forward, but not just the way it looks and feels, which is totally a game changer for a lot of. I've had clients who, like, I had an author who wrote a book, and he says, the website really dialed in what I do and legitimized me. Now, where before I would have to struggle to get those calls, now I have a way to get my foot in the door. I send them the website. They are convinced that I am worth talking to. And then he went on and did a book tour and all that good stuff. And that's the kind of stuff I
it's
love to
hard to
see.
weed through everybody, even in our
Yeah.
industry, the real estate industry, there's classes of realtors or real estate licenses going,
Mhm.
probably, I don't know for sure how often they run them, but at least a couple times a year. And there's hundreds that gets their real estate license, but that doesn't necessarily make them a good realtor. So,
Right.
but you
Exactly.
have to weed through all that, who is able to put their company together, who's actually able to service their clients, who's actually
Mhm.
able to handle all the situations that come up in a transaction that, isn't necessarily, they're not always standard transactions. Every single one of them is different, even if the houses are identical, because there's different
I
things
see.
that go on. But it's how do you get that point across to people that you want to hire, right, our company
Mhm.
over, somebody else's that maybe just whatever, just graduated with their real estate license and has never even done a transaction. Because
Yeah.
in our particular industry, and I know it's
Mhm.
it's not necessarily that way in every single one, but in our particular, just because you can get your real estate license doesn't mean you're good at being a realtor.
Okay. Yeah, and everybody who wants to strike out on their own has something that does differentiate them. I guess, going back to the journalism thing, everybody has a story,
Hmm.
and every business has a differentiator,
And I
whatever that
think
is.
that website's a good way to get it out. So I
Yeah,
agree with you.
exactly.
Yeah. And
I
what's some of
totally
the
agree.
other things that maybe you can do for them?
So many things. So web development is the core of what I present my business as, but when you really work with me, it ends up being, sometimes we don't even do a website because of the other things I can do. So I am a professional print designer as well, so I can do print ready, full bleeds, full color designs, and send it to the printer, all that good stuff. I do grant writing, so for nonprofits and foundations and others that are looking for nonprofit, I'm sorry, for grant funds. And matter of fact, another big thing that I'm a part of now is the manufacturing industry in Fresno. So I'm what's called the delivery resource for CMTC. It's a statewide nonprofit that is for the manufacturing industry. So I have access to grant funds, if you are a manufacturer and looking to have something built up on your web presence. I'm sort of their delivery resource in the Central Valley for that. And so that's really exciting. But I also do business process development sometimes. So, it might be something. I'm really good with spreadsheets and doing complex things with Excel formulas. So if you're looking to do financial modeling, or you want to have a process that's in a spreadsheet so that, you can collaborate with other people on it, or even just figure out things about your company, that's something that
Right.
I can help with as well. So just so many different things. And then on underneath all of that, my first career in journalism means that if you need help, presenting yourself or knowing what to write about your company or what to say, that's something that I can help with too. So,
Nice, nice.
I
So
I
you could
work.
probably get those articles out online for people and start getting their name known and
Yeah.
basically just promoting that particular company. It sounds like you have a lot of ins and outs that maybe, Joe Blow, who's starting their career, doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily know, well, okay, I'm licensed. Now what do I do?
Yeah, I've taken, I'm, yes, I've taken individuals from, I have an idea and a dream to, I designed a logo, we built their website, and all of a sudden they're propped up to be able to have success. But on top of that, I'm able to grow with the organization, or grow their web presence as well. So recently I did a migration from one email system to a more compliant email system. It was like 50 emails for two different organizations in Fresno. And we did it very smoothly, but it's hard to move your email from one place to another without losing access to it or things like that.
That is a good point. I don't
Yeah.
think people quite understand the security of online stuff,
Yeah.
and they think, oh, I'll just pick an email, but I'm sorry, they are not all created equal.
No, there's HIPAA compliance and all that good stuff. And every year I'm certified. I do have a form of certification, which is in a variety of different things like IT security through Tech Systems. It's a multinational tech company, and they have me do things on workplace privacy, um, cybersecurity, like phishing, the latest of those things. So I come equipped with all of that as well. And so really, my whole thing is being that strong foundation. At the same time, I don't force any of my clients to, I mean, by the fact that I am so helpful, they probably aren't going anywhere. But if a person, organization wanted to move on and hire somebody else, hey, I want to work with you if you want to work with me. I want to be valuable to you as long as I can be. And if you're finding that we're not working together, it's not something that I'm roping you into, or trapping you into my system. I'm all about
Right.
empowering the organization, the individuals to do what they do best and trying to fit in. And my goal as a company is to always be relevant and on top of the technology so that you never have to think about going anywhere else,
I
and you're
know, isn't
always
that
like,
the
this is where I'm
truth?
going. And
And
I've worked with clients for 10
I
years.
think a lot of industries are like, we want to be good at what we're good at. In my
Yeah.
particular case, I don't want to think about, like you said, being an online guru or anything else. I literally want to help my clients and run the contracts.
Yeah.
But being a business owner, people don't really realize that that's just a small fraction of what my daily grind really is. Most of my daily
Yeah.
grind is this online or the webinars or
Yeah.
trying to the marketing, to get my name
Mhm.
out there to where I can, actually find that client that wants help and that, I can get them through whatever. Because I'm finding in the real estate industry, and I know
Mhm.
there's probably other industries out there like that, that, like I said, a standard transaction. I mean, I'm always shocked if I get maybe one standard transaction or two standard transactions a year. And it's like
I see.
almost like, well, that was way too easy, because I deal with a lot of issues and a lot of problems either with the house or in people's credit or
Mhm.
maybe the other side, because we work on more teams. It's not necessarily only me running a contract.
I see.
You've got lenders, you've got the other agent, you've got sellers or buyers, depending on which side
Mhm.
you're representing. You've got escrow companies, you've got
I see.
inspections, you've got there's tons of appraisers you're dealing with. So you're working in more of a team, and it is not necessarily sometimes how well you do, it's how well you can manage your team and how well can you get somebody that maybe is not bringing up their part of it like they need to, or maybe there was a problem in the house and they don't have a choice but to, report that there's a problem. You got to be able to deal with it. So there's a
Oh yeah.
lot more to it. And I don't, if I, I can find somebody to take stuff off my plate like you,
Yes.
then yeah, let's do it, type thing. So
Yeah. And
hopefully you can maybe find some other businesses out there, and Adrian would be your guy. Go to let him help you build your business so you don't have to keep thinking about it and you do what you do best.
yeah. Yeah, and the last thing somebody needs who deals in your industry, where collaboration and coordination is very important, is for something like your emails to go down or your communication channels to be broken. Those sorts of things are where the foundational stuff comes in. And so I'm
Hmm.
always looking to, yes, that's what I do, and I've been in business for 15 years here in Fresno, and so this is what I spend my days doing, helping all of my clients throughout every day on the little things that they need. And then when they need
Hmm.
something big, they know they can count on me as well. So yeah, it's been really great.
I think a key point that you just made is, you know, um, most people don't realize I have to have three systems in order to make sure that there's no glitches and I can get through a day and get what I need done. And even now, even with that, every now and then, it's
Yeah.
like you have to cancel an appointment or you have to reschedule, or
Mm-hmm.
something has come up, powers went out and none of your systems are up and your battery backup isn't working, or
Right.
I don't know, I've come up with some of the craziest things, and it's like people don't understand there's more than just getting up in a day to running a business. It is a
Oh yeah.
continual collaboration, trying to get everything stay up and going, and get through
Yeah.
your day, get through all your meetings, get through all the information that everybody wants out of you.
100%. I mean, it is so critical. And transparency is one of the things that is important to my company too. I have a client portal for my clients, and every month when the invoice comes out, it attached to it is a log of a bunch of stuff that most people probably don't know what it says, but it's there to show every month I'm backing up your website, I'm updating the plugins, I'm doing all the things that keep your site healthy and your
The
web presence
updates on
healthy.
the systems, or so that when
Exactly.
I turn one on, I'm out at somebody's house and I turn one on, it
Yes,
actually works.
it's there, it works. And if there was a problem, yes, you can call me. But if there's a problem, I want to find it before it reaches your desk. I
Yeah,
work on things and I say,
that's
hey,
key.
I've been working on this, and but I have a system for logging that stuff too, and that automatically goes into the client communications every month as well, so that if you are wondering, hey, what the heck is he doing all month when we don't really interact with him? Is he even thinking about us? Oh, I am. I've got multiple dozens of clients, and I'm managing them all with this various systems that I use. And
Hmm.
one thing I do is the backups are so important because every, I don't know, couple months, there's something that would have been disastrous had I not followed all my safety, security, and backup protocols for clients. So yeah, that's just what I've been working on. That's why I feel been
We want to
successful.
make it look easy for them, don't we? I mean, I
Yeah,
get that all the time. Oh, that was too easy. I think we paid you too much. It's like, that's the whole point. I did make it look easy.
yeah,
You didn't see all the 40, 50 hours I put into
yeah.
whatever, keeping this going or keeping that going and making
Mhm.
sure I got to that appointment, or making sure that I got, that closed on that particular day. And but I've
Yes.
been told that several times. It's like, oh, you made that look way too easy, or
Yeah. And sometimes
and
I'm
you're like,
sitting
that's
there
a
and
good
I'm
thing.
right. Once in a while, there will be a situation where a client has called me at a weird time, needing something very quickly because it's an emergency for them.
Hmm.
And when I'm able to be there for them, in my mind, of course, I'm happy to do it. And then I'm thinking, this is really partly what the value is that I'm bringing. Yes, all these other things, But this is the part that they should say, yeah, it's worth working with him. If for nothing else, the fact that I can call upon him, get the help I need, and he actually has
At
the
the
solution.
time I needed it, because I'm telling you, and I assume it's probably the same in yours. I get the strangest hours, you know.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
remember I got fired one time from selling a house because I didn't answer her at 3 a.m. I was asleep, people. I do that every so
Yeah,
often.
exactly. There is this thing called sleep, and it does happen whether we want it to or not.
But
Right.
I agree with you. I get some calls at the weirdest thing. I may be sitting there eating dinner with five friends, but here I am on the phone trying to answer questions.
Exactly. And like that, and to me, that's the difference between myself and others. When I'm able to help in those moments, hey, it takes a little bit out of my time, but that is the lifestyle I chose when I started a business that was
Exactly.
like this. And I started working with law enforcement, and they, don't usually need me at weird hours, but if they do, they need me. And I'm sure they
And they
knock on
work
my door.
weird hours.
Oh
I've
yeah. They
always
work 24/7.
I know it. There's a lot of industries out there that's 24/7. So,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
well,
So
do you have anything else you'd like to close out with, and then maybe give some contact information and where they can contact? Of course, we'll include it down below with the articles. Make sure you guys like both our channels and different things.
yeah,
But
we'll share this. Well,
go
the only
ahead.
thing I'll mention is I got a roundtable coming up. So part of my work with the manufacturing industry is I'm a member of the San Joaquin Valley Manufacturing Alliance.
Okay.
And on February 19th, I believe, shoot, I have to look it up. I think it's February 19th. It's a Wednesday. They're having a tech roundtable, and I'm co-hosting, where I'm going to talk a lot more in depth about the technicals around having a strong foundation, particularly for manufacturers. So I don't know if your audience will have many manufacturers, but for members of SJVMA, there's this roundtable. I think you could probably register even if you're not a member.
Okay.
But it's a really helpful way to get a lot more of a heavy dose of what I'm talking about because I'm
Maybe
going to go.
business owners in general, it might be a good way to introduce them to
Oh
some of the
yeah,
stuff. Even though it's directed mainly at manufacturers, it'll be applicable to other businesses, I'm sure.
yeah, and I have a link for that, and I can share that as well for registering for that. Of course, SJVMA is for manufacturers, and they, have a membership there. But it's such a great community in the manufacturing industry that is really strong and has great people in it. I'm really happy to be working with them too. And so, yeah, but
Nice. And we can include the link down below, everybody. Don't worry, you're not missing out.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, my website is anchoredweb.com. So it's the past tense of anchoredweb.com. If you go there, you can also call me at 559-272-6837. If you go to my website, you can get all kinds of info. But yeah, I'm here in Fresno. I have been doing this for 15 years, but I am really just so busy and under the radar that I've been referral based for so long um, that only now am I starting to kind of come out and tell people more about my experiences and stuff. But
Sure.
yes, I'm always available. And anybody who wants to call and talk to me, even just to find out about the web stuff, I love to teach, I love to share. So,
Well, I
yeah,
think a lot of our human nature, and especially when we get into particular industries, we really just want to help you. We're an expert in our particular
yeah,
industry. I wouldn't even try to do your job, and I'm sure you probably wouldn't be able to do mine, but
no way.
we do legitimately, a lot of us, which is the reason we go into business for ourselves, is we do want to help. And if you
Yeah,
need help in either one of our industries, we would love to help you. You just give us a
exactly.
call.
Exactly. And I'm so full of help. That's why I'm like, okay, I need to do more to help more people. How can I get more people to
Mhm.
learn these
I'm a
these
wealth of knowledge. Come
yeah,
pick it out of my brain.
exactly. Use me for this now. I only have so much time. Just keep plugging away at what I can do. But yeah,
Hmm.
I that's why I started a business. I actually fell into running a business because I was really just trying to help different organizations, and it became what it is today, Anchored Web Solutions. I'm pretty proud of
Nice,
it. So
nice.
yeah,
It
and I really
kind of,
again appreciate you having me on to talk
oh, well,
about
it was fun. I enjoyed you, Adrian. Thanks for
it. Yeah.
joining me. And I will send this out to my writers, and we'll have some articles wrote up, and I'll send those over to
Mhm.
you.
Okay.
This is Realtor Linda Peltz. My number is 559-353-4556. And I probably said that way too fast. Sorry about that, but I will include the information down below. I am here for everybody's real estate needs and questions. If you have friends that just needs a question answered, give me a buzz, give me a call. I can sometimes get to text a little faster. I don't know about you, Adrian, but my phone gets kind of clogged up sometimes, and I've had to tell several of them this morning, I'm sorry, I'm in a meeting. I can get back to you if you want, or text me what you need. But
Yeah, texting
just
is
the
super
nature of the
powerful.
business, I do want to help. I'm not trying to avoid anybody. I just sometimes get a little busy, but everybody, I am here for you. My license number is 01997670, and I will catch you on the next one. Adrian, if you ever decide you would like to do another one, just give me a buzz and we'll get
I
you
will
get you
for sure.
going.
It's been fun. Thank you.
Everybody, like our channels.
Woohoo.
Keep us going. Have a great day.